part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
Run, William, run! He's got blockers in front. 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs turns disaster into a score! Kick blocked! They blocked the kick!
All right, before we get started, for this episode of The Orange is Oranger, we are going to talk a little bit about DraftKings. Who are the pretenders? Tyvis. Who are the contenders? Me. We are more than halfway through the NFL season, but DraftKings Sportsbook is still pumping out unbeatable offers every single game. New customers can bet just $5 on anything, and you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. And DraftKings, of course, is not stopping there, and they never do. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game day. So get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now and use code P3Browns. New customers can bet just $5 on anything to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3Browns. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling, so call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 and over, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Well, welcome everyone to the Orange is Oranger. I am Holly Wetzel. He is Tyvis Powell. And, we're riding a little bit of a victory week. Granted, it was the Cardinals that brought us the dub, but we'll take it.
Don't do that.
Well,
listen,
I don't want to.
It's hard. It's hard to get wins in the NFL. I don't care who it is.
Look, Daniel, Tyvis and I went at it last week, and so I got questions that I know you're going to answer for us and make me right, but we'll get there. So the Browns, are uphill battle this week with the Ravens, and to talk about this major matchup in the AFC North is Daniel Wilcox. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, former Baltimore Raven. What, first one? I thought you won 2.
I wish I did, boy. I think I was probably one game away from 3 of them, but nah, I just only won Tampa Bay.
All right.
Yeah,
Super Bowl champion like is all
Some
that
people
matters.
get none.
Hey, I can tell you this right now. Before we get started, this is one story I like to tell, man. My rookie year in the league with the Jets, Herman that was still in front of the team. Everybody that made the team, it was like 65, 68 of us in the room, and he started asking guys, "Have you ever been to the playoffs?" And like 10 guys raised their hand. And you ever been to a Super Bowl? Like one guy raised their hand. It was like he went down the line like asking all these questions, and that was like the last 2. And it was pretty impressive, man, just understanding like how, on that team I had Vinny Testaverde. He was a 20-year vet at the time. 20 years, he had never been to the Super Bowl. He wasn't the one that raised his hand, so it was just, it's pretty phenomenal, man. You can play this game for 20 years and never even sniff it. So I don't take it for granted at all times. Not at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Respect.
Well, yeah, Super Bowl champion is amazing enough. And he also hosts on the Bleav network for Bleav in Ravens. And he's here to break down what really these next couple weeks is going to determine, the title for the AFC North. Browns obviously have the Ravens. Ravens then play the Bengals right after. We have the Steelers right after. And the rest of the division is really sitting right at average except for Baltimore. So, first, I want to talk first, Daniel, a little bit about, is this more, in your opinion, the defense versus the defense or the offense versus the offense here with this matchup? Browns lead in a couple different defensive stats, and the Ravens do. So is it the defense versus the defense, or is it the offense versus the offense to get this W?
Well, I think if you're an AFC North team, it's always going to be defense versus defense. The blessing for us is, for the first time, we could actually say that it's all three phases of our team. It's our team versus your defense at this point. Like, our team is we're rolling right now on all cylinders. We're starting to finally click, and Monken's offense is coming together. Our defense is coming together finally, and we look like the old Ravens of 2000. And I'm super excited about this right now. I mean, I cannot say enough great things about the Baltimore Ravens defense as a whole. I know Cleveland is stacked and they play phenomenal. And for some reason, against the Baltimore Ravens, everybody have a great game. Everybody want to have their best game. So, I mean, I know Garrett and company is coming for Lamar. So we're going to look forward to just seeing how this thing is going to play out. But if it's up to me, I definitely think it's a defense versus defense game. But I think the Ravens offense trumps the Cleveland Brown offense. And I think the Ravens special team, with John Harbaugh being a special teams coach before he was a head coach, had that special team emphasis. I always say our special team is going to trump your special team. So we're going to beat you in at least two phases right off rip. When you got Justin Tucker as a kicker, I mean, how could you go wrong? What can I say?
I like that, actually. I respect that. So, you're an offensive guy. You play for a couple of teams. You mentioned Todd Monken, this being his first year. How difficult is it for you to pick up a playbook, or when a new coach comes in and installs his playbook? How difficult is it for that offense to get clicking, and what do you think has helped this offense be able to get clicking right away?
That's a great question, Ty. I think
Thank you.
For me, 9 seasons in the league, right? Played 9 different teams. I wear 9 different OCs every year. I had a different OC every single season. It's unbelievable. I think I may be one of the few guys that had that. So I had to learn every offense in the NFL, from the pro style to the West Coast, you name it. Spread. I played them all. Played in them all. And one of the hardest things to do is to learn a playbook. Especially in a short amount of time. Back then in the day when I played, the playbooks was probably about as big as my head. They were so thick. Mm-hmm. And you had to learn all those plays in like a month and a half, 2 months time to be ready for the season. And every single week, they add another 30, 40 plays per game. And you have to learn those plays and study those plays every week. Once you get the premise of the offense, the base, the root of the offense, and you get an understanding for what the offense is, and then you could everything else you could kind of just figure out, because even though it's code words, they put a bunch of code words in and put in different packages and all these different things. The routes pretty much are the same. The route tree is the same from 0 to 9. It's the same routes almost in every playbook. I think one thing that Monken had going for him was that he was in Cleveland with OBJ back when. OBJ already knew the offense, so that was easy for him. And it was probably easy for him to help teach some of the other guys the offense as well. And anything that they was probably scratching their head about, they can go to Todd, they can go to OBJ, and then they can learn it. The thing that I think hurt us the first 4 or 5 games was that Lamar, was holding out with that contract thing all summer long. Like, people seem to forget it. They already forgot about it already. Like, we was seeing, like, pulling our hair out, like, sign Lamar. Like, what the freak is going on? And we thinking Lamar is leaving, right? We thinking he's not going to even come back to a Raven after he posted that thing on Twitter, saying that the Ravens kind of stiffed him, early in the offseason. So, but I think a lot of people are not taking that in consideration for those first 4 or 5 games. Those first 4 or 5 games for us during the regular season were like preseason games, because this is our first time with our whole crew together, playing together. And we made a bunch of mistakes. We lost 2 games we probably shouldn't have lost. We should be undefeated right now, if you ask me. But it's extremely hard. To circle back to your question, Ty, like, it's extremely hard, man, to learn a new playbook every single year. And I equate it to a foreign language. Like, defense is defense. Cover 2, cover 0. You're just going to change the names or whatever. Yeah. It pretty much stays the same. But those wrinkles they throw in is what get you kind of ruffled and that make you blow those coverages, right? On offense, I look at it like defense is organized chaos and offense is like synchronized swimming. It has to be perfect on offense. Defense, somebody could bust something or mess up something or go the wrong way and still make the tackle in the backfield. It's crazy, or still make a pick.
Oh, yeah, the box, yes, yeah. Not in the secondary.
Well, in the secondary, you got to get the quarterbacks on this level, some props too now. You got to give them some props. They seem to find the open man almost every single time if he's open. But then I played with a couple of guys that made you scratch your head even on the NFL level. They would throw it to you if you busted that coverage. They'll throw it right to you in double coverage. You pick it off and take it to the house or something, man. So you just never know in this league, man. So it's such a fun place to be. The offenses in this league are extremely complicated, and they have to do it that way to try to confuse these geniuses that you have on defense as those defensive coordinators on every single team, man. So, and everybody's sharp. Everybody's sharp on this level. You don't make it this far, and you don't play 4, 5, 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in this league if you're not extremely smart and you're educated and you're thinking things through and you have a high ability to process things at a very fast rate. And that's what allows you to be the best version of yourself in this league.
What is it about Lamar that, he's potential MVP candidate this year, right? He's having a season. What is it about him, in addition to everything that we see on the field, that makes him so great and makes him such a major threat?
I think confidence. Confidence more than anything. He's had the ability to be confident in his play since he was in high school or middle school or even park ball. It goes way back to the first time you seen him go viral in high school where he stopped on the dime and the guy went flying by him and he walked in the end zone like, whoo. And then you go to Louisville, he wins the Heisman his sophomore season. Then his junior year, he comes out early. He came out of high school early, went to Louisville early. He's a young guy. He's one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league still to this day. And I think what helps him out is his confidence and belief in himself. And everybody around him plays at a higher level because they believe that this dude could do something phenomenal any given play. And I know for me as a receiving tight end, running routes, you feel like you're a decoy, over and over again. I'm just running these go routes, clear outs, and they running these digs underneath me, these outs underneath me, these flat routes when I run the go route, or these swings or whatever I got to do. Like even screen plays come off us running go routes at tight end. We feel like a lot of times we're decoys, but when you're playing with somebody like Lamar, every single play you can get the ball. That's what I felt when Steve McNair came to Baltimore. When he came to Baltimore and I got him as my quarterback that year, I was like, oh my God, I can get the ball any play. I don't care if the play designed to go to me or not. If I'm open, it just may come to me. So it elevates my level. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you can ask Ty this, he'll tell you straight up, like on the defensive side of the ball, you got a quarterback that's phenomenal quarterback. You always know, all right, let's get this guy the ball back because he's going to make us right no matter what we do. And you play a little bit freer, you play a little bit looser because you don't have to feel like I can't give up a play at all. You can feel like you can give up one because he's going to make you right on the back end. And you sit down and watch him play, and you just like a fan at home watching this guy play. You're on the sideline. A lot of guys go to the sideline and sit down, but if you ever watch the Ravens sideline, you can see their whole defense standing up watching Lamar in the offense because you never know what you're going to miss. And you don't want to be the guy sitting on the bench not paying attention and miss this guy do something phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about that offense that they run because they got a little bit of the read option in there. I don't know how much they ran that back, when you was playing, if that was a thing or not. Yeah. But what is it about the read option that's difficult? Because, the last time the Browns faced it, Lamar had a really good game, and then Gardner Minshew ran it a little bit with the Colts, and that hurt him a little bit. So what is it about the read option that makes it so deadly to a defense?
Well, I think you know the answer to this question. Let me see if Holly and Ty can figure this out. But the read option to me on the NFL level is equivalent to you playing high school ball against a wing tee. You never know who has the ball. It's all this misdirection and it's all this deception that you see in the backfield. Oh my God, does he have the ball? Does he have the ball? You don't know who has the ball until it's too late. One step will make you too late. One wrong step, one false step will make you too late to make the tackle on a guy like Lamar Jackson or any of our running backs. Our running backs you just saw Keaton Mitchell just pop out of the blue. His father played for the Baltimore Ravens, Anthony Mitchell, and then Keaton Mitchell pops up and he goes for 140 yards. And one of his first, not his first start, but not even his start, because he didn't even start the game. Gus Edwards still started the game, but just he got a chance to play a little bit more than normal, and he acted a plumb fool out there this past week. And that makes it exciting. I mean, the read option is the closest thing you can get to, I think, in the NFL level as the wing tee. And the reason why the wing tee is still around to this day is because it's so much deception in the backfield, and it happens so fast. It's such a split second, decision that you have to make in order to be right. And if you're wrong, it could pop for 50, 60 yards, and then you get caught up in the backfield. Next thing you know, they're throwing the ball over your head. Tyvis got hit over the head a couple of times. He could tell you about that.
No, we was actually pretty good against that. The read pass, that RPO stuff, I definitely hated it as a safety, because if I wasn't in the box and it was our linebackers that got put in that bind, and if that linebacker go crashing in, they pull it and throw that slant right behind them, and it's just that's what I hated about it.
Yeah.
So
and if it's good now if it's a good read option, or if it's a good wing tee situation, you're gonna start biting on that run. You're gonna get tired of them busting those runs for 30 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards, 6 yards a pop. And then as a safety, did you play strong or free, Ty?
Strong.
He played
both.
Strong.
Actually, to be honest with you, I played everything in the secondary. I played corner too, and nickel, and both.
Strong is basically like a hybrid linebacker. So he's going to be down in that box a lot. And anytime they roll to cover 3, we go 3-by-1. He has to roll it down in that box in that 3-by-1 set. And then you give him that read option. He has to pay attention to it, because if we don't, we give it and it runs right up his alley. He turns around running with the receiver somewhere playing cover 1 or 0. Well, now it runs up behind him. He's still running with the receiver looking like a fool. He don't want that. So he going to have his eyes in the backfield at some point if we run the ball over and over and over and over again, like Marshawn Lynch said, over and over, over and over again. Eventually he going to bite on a run, and then we're going to throw the ball over his head.
Daniel, we first started talking about the tight end when we first popped on here, and you said you feel like you've really set the tone when you played for that position, and it's come up. So love to hear about that a little bit. But also, I wanted to get your opinion on David Njoku. He's definitely having a good season this year. For me, I feel like I have been waiting for him to really just pop off and continue to. I feel like we see these like ups and downs with him, and see these really bright lights. Like he's had a really great catch last game against the Cardinals. What for you, first of all, tight end position, and then talk to me also about your thoughts on David Njoku and his ceiling.
Yeah, I think his ceiling is endless. It really depends on his offensive coordinator. And being on the defensive side of the ball, you get a chance to kind of write your own meal ticket. If they go at you more, you have more opportunities. If they run away from you, then you have a boring game. If they never throw your way, you have a boring game. It's like you're not even on the field. You're just another piece on the chessboard. But if they're throwing at you every single play, you got an opportunity to get PBUs, picks, pick sixes, and you get a chance to come up and make some serious hits and cause fumbles and stuff like that. As a DB, that's what you want. Please run it at me. Please, bring me some action all game long. Don't run the ball away from me. So tight end to me is that same type of position. Like we're one of those guys that our fate is in the hands of our QB. If you don't get us the ball, our offense don't call plays for us, and he don't really understand my true talents and my abilities, then I'll never be as great as I could be. Like he has to continuously put me in situations so that I can be phenomenal. If I was a great screen catching tight end and you never ran a screen with me, then I don't get a chance to exploit that ability. If I was a great backside blocking tight end and you always ran the ball at me front side, and then I'm getting pushed in the backfield, by Garrett or somebody like that, and then I'm getting hit in my back and ran up my back every other play, then you're not exploiting my strengths. I'm a better backside guy than I am a front side guy. Or if I run a double move, a Zorro route or twitch route or option route, if that's my thing, put me in as many opportunities as I possibly can to be great. And the great tight ends you've found around this league, even way back from the Dallas Clarks, the Ozzie Newsomes, the Todd Heaps, the Wittens, everybody. Like you name them. Like those guys, I'm telling you right now, like every last one, even Jeremy Shockey's, they was put in positions to be great. And you have to continuously feed him. You're only going to remember his catches. You're not going to remember him blocking somebody backside of the play or front side of the play. When we do that, we turn into offensive linemen. Offensive linemen never get any credit. The guy runs for 134 yards. Everybody's talking about how great Keaton run. What about those big holes that he had that the offensive line gave him and the tight ends gave him? We don't get the credit for that stuff. We only get the credit when we catch a ball or score a touchdown. So when you look at the Travis Kelce's in the world and And the Mark Andrews of the world, when that ball is thrown to us, we make these spectacular catches and we score touchdowns. You know, that's when the pom-poms and stuff start showing up in our favor. So for Njoku, he has to get the ball. You have to find a way to get the man to rock and put him in situations where he could be great. And you have to exploit those talents that he has. He's a physical specimen. He's explosive. His separation game is on point. And he has the ability to get up on your toes extremely fast and make you have to make a decision. And he's strong and physical enough, like Tyvis said, where he felt weak when big tight ends ran up on him. You know, it's the same thing for Njoku. It's a mismatch. It's a mismatch.
Yeah,
for
you're welcome
somebody
on this
like
podcast
him, man.
anytime.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
It's a mismatch, baby.
Listen. I'll let you know something. Listen, if you the way you coming at me, you want to line them up.
Yeah, we
you
can line them up. I still got 3 plays.
I
still got 3 plays.
Listen,
Hey.
I'm gonna let you know something. It ain't happening, bro.
Hey,
It's
I'm
not
telling
happening.
you right now, you ask any DB that knows Shawty, they're going to tell you straight up.
It's not
watch
happening.
yourself, Tyvis. Watch yourself.
I'm telling you right now, it's not happening.
They're going to like,
It's
it ain't going to be what you think,
personal.
Ty. It ain't going to
It's
be
a
what you think.
personal thing. It's a personal thing.
promise
Like a
you.
receiver, I get it, but a tight
Ty, you
end,
messing
come
with a
on,
heavyweight.
man. Come on,
Ty, you
man.
messing with a
I'm
heavyweight.
telling you.
You messing with a heavyweight,
Anyways, take me to the mindset. I know you can't personally take us and put. I can't put you inside of Odell's mindset because you're not Odell. But if you had to face your former team, how would you feel about that?
Well, I've been there before, so I can tell you exactly how I felt. I mean,
Go ahead. Let us know.
When I left Tampa Bay and John Gruden and those guys down in Tampa, Warren Sapp, the Keyshawn Johnsons and stuff, and I went to Baltimore. That next year we played Tampa. Was it the next year? It was 2 years later because Steve McNair was my quarterback, and I was so happy he was there, man. And we went down to Tampa, played in my old stomping grounds. It was with the big boat, the ship with the rockets on it and everything, man. And the anxiety was at a 10. It was at an all-time 10. The butterflies in the stomach was at an all-time 10. I knew every player they had on their team, you know, and you know how these guys are going to play you, how they're going to react. You're going to see if they got better. You're going to see if they do the same thing. And it's like a heavyweight fight. You know, you come in, you throw the jab, you throw the little jab just to see how he reacts to the jab. Then you get him a 1-2 combo, see how he reacts to the combo. It's the same thing. When I run that route, I'm going to give you that little stick at the top and see if you react to that stick a little bit. Then when I run that little 5 yard, I'm going to stutter a little bit. If you jump on that stutter, then if I run at you and you freeze and you don't move your feet when I run at you and you stay put, I know I can hold you now. If I run away from you, you run me right away, then I know I can make you move. So I'm going to play with you even when I don't have a route. I'm going to run a route so that I can see what you're going to do. And that's exactly what OBJ is going to do. He's going to test these guys from the very first play to the last. And I hope he bring that old OBJ energy where he ready to snap and pop on every single player in Cleveland. And he running up on every DB, every safety, free or strong. All right. And the corners and anybody that line up on him, I hope he put hands on them. And I hope he want them guys to know that I'm still the best receiver y'all ever seen in Cleveland. And I hope he brings that energy, man. I hope it's one of those. Remember he used to go against Josh Norman early in his career? I hope it's one of those games, man. I really do, because I want to see OBJ bring that energy. That energy, if we talking about play like a Raven, that's us all day. You know, we gonna tell you right now, I'm a machine, jerk. You know, you heard what Ray Lewis said. I'm a machine, jerk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
let him know.
Yeah. So, I mean, in our mind, bro, like, we're going to run through brick walls. We're going to do everything. We're going to do whatever it takes to win, and we're going to represent the city of Baltimore. Charm City is one of the dopest places you could possibly play. I played in New York, played in Tampa, played in Baltimore. And Baltimore was by far the best city I played in. Now, probably because I started 5 seasons there. So that's probably why. You know, I bounced around like you did early on, Tyvis, and I didn't get my feet set. Nobody really believed in me truly. Nobody knew what position I really, really, truly was. Mm-hmm. And I had to kind of find my footing. But I can tell you right now, OBJ is licking his chops. He remembers some of these guys, and he's looking for an opportunity to show Cleveland why y'all should have did whatever y'all could have did to keep me there longer and pay me more, because I'm here now, and I'm a Raven, and I'm in your division, and I'm wearing this purple and black jersey, and I'm telling you right now, we coming at you. We coming at you on a whole nother level. And everybody in there got swag right now. They starting to look like that team from 2019 when Mark Ingram was there and they was talking about big trust. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't help but remember that. That thing was all over the country.
Big trust.
Holly, you remember Big Trust?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Let me correct you. Odell wasn't the best Brown receiver.
Was not.
It was actually Josh Gordon.
Who was that? Who was Josh Gordon?
It was Josh Gordon. It was.
Who was Josh
12
Gordon?
games.
Who is Josh Gordon?
Well, he smoked out now, so you don't. But when he was before, before the smoking stuff, though, I'm telling you,
right? But you know why he was the best receiver? Because OBJ was on the other side.
No, this is way before Odell.
Yeah. It was before Odell. Oh, he wasn't there when Odell was there?
Before Odell.
I was about to say, because I don't remember him at all. I'm like, who is Josh Gordon? The best Browns receiver that I know of, he never even played for the Browns. Played for the Cincinnati Bengals. Chad Ochocinco. That means Browns ain't never had a good receiver. No, I'm messing with you. I'm just playing.
Oh my God.
I'm just shooting my shot right now. I'm just shooting my shot.
The funniest part about it is, as a kid, Chad was my favorite player growing up, so I actually agree with you.
I rock with Chad.
Why? Speaking of Odell, what do you know? What have you heard? Why didn't he? And I don't want to go back with the history of him and the Baker year and OBJ's dad putting up the video. I'm sure you know about all of that. So why do you think, because this rolls into a bigger question for the Browns, the Browns, it is no secret that we have struggled from top to bottom, from the top of the organization down. We have never really seemed to get it right. And, we obviously went all in with Deshaun and making this move. So the pressure is very high and very expensive. Right. And, there was still controversy when Baker left. And there was a lot of, was he wrong? Was OBJ wrong? Why didn't Odell fit in the Browns system? And why is he excelling in Baltimore versus, and is it organizational from general manager, or is it coach, or was it really Baker and his chemistry that just wasn't there?
I think it was a combination of things. I mean, I don't know what went inside the Browns organization. I can't even pretend to act like I know. But my opinion is, I think, and this is from my own experience playing, it starts at the top. It starts with the owner of the team. And from the owner to the president to the GM, to the player personnel department, to the head coach and coaching staff, all the way down to the players and the people that you have in your organization, even the ticket guy. The ticket guy, ain't got the right mindset. It messes up everything. It unravels, because you got to get tickets for your family week in and week out. And Baker Copperman in Baltimore with the Ravens is probably one of the dopest ticket guys in the league. He's been there forever. He's been there since before I got there. He's still there now. 20-some years later, he's still at the Ravens organization. And when you walk back into the Ravens organization, you still see a lot of the same people. And I love that, man. That means that people love working for this organization. And you don't see that everywhere. The Cleveland Browns has always been dysfunctional for as long as I can remember, ever since the Ravens left it. It was dysfunctional before then, and then it was dysfunctional after that, and I hate to say that, but that's what it is. Art Modell took the team and left in the middle of the night because it was something in Cleveland that wasn't right then. So I think it's too many people sometimes, too many Chiefs, and not enough Indians, sometimes. And it's too many guys trying to call the shots, and too many guys, want to do things their way. And the sad part about saying that is, no matter who you are, it's human nature. If you're on top of anything, you're going to try to do things the way you believe it should be done. If you don't do that, then you're going to get fired trying to do it somebody else's way. So you have to do things your way. And sometimes being at the top don't mean everything. Being the owner of the team, and you see down in Dallas with Jerry Jones, he's always in the mix of everything. And Dallas hadn't been to a Super Bowl or a title in a long time, man. Like since Michael Irvin played. So when you just look at it, and it's a great organization, probably one of the best organizations in the country, but one of the things I noticed about Baltimore, and I can't speak for Cleveland, so I'm going to speak for Baltimore. Steve Bisciotti, the owner of the Ravens, class act. Like, probably the best owner I've been around in my 9 seasons in the NFL. Steve would sit down and have real life conversations with you. Nothing was off topic. And he would literally, I remember I got hurt one year, I want to say my 7th year in the league, I got hurt. And I hurt my foot. And he actually invited me to go sit in his box. The owner of the team, I'm tight end. I would be considered the second string tight end. Even though I was a starting H-back, I would be considered the second string tight end because Todd Heap was, of course, number 1. I was number 2. So he actually invited me to go sit in his box. And I wasn't a big time guy. Heap was the money guy, not me. He asked me to come sit in his box, and he asked me, what did I think about the team? Like, hold on now. Like, this is a trick question. Like,
this is a setup question.
Yeah, this is a setup. Like, what's but he really wanted to know what I genuinely thought, and he really wanted to know what I thought about everything at that moment. And we talked and talked and talked. He didn't have to talk to me like that, you know, but he did. He respected me enough, even in my position, to have like real conversations with me. One of the realest things he ever told me, he said, I remember talking to him about investments, and I can guarantee you ain't nobody in Cleveland talking to the owner the way Steve Bisciotti talked to me. You know, so he talked to me about investments, and I remember talking to him about money, and I was like, what would you invest your money in if you was one of us? Because when you're in the league, you know, everybody trying to get you to do these get rich quick schemes, and your boys trying to bring your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, your cousins, your homies that you ain't talked to in 20 years, your cousins that you ain't seen ever in your life calling you, asking you for stuff. You know, so like I'm like, what is your biggest investment? And he told me straight up, he was like, your biggest investment is, to be honest with you, is you. Like, why would you risk taking time away from what you're doing right now, you know, and trying to do anything else? And it was like, at that moment, it clicked to me, like, this is like a relationship, you know, like, it's like being in the NFL is like being in a relationship with the prettiest woman you've ever talked to. And you're always nervous. You're always on edge. You know, you got to be on point. You got to dress nice when you go out with her. You got to look good because everybody's going to be looking at her, you know, and you got to present yourself well everywhere you go because you're representing this young lady, and she like Taylor Swift, right? You're representing Taylor Swift, and you got to look great. You got to drive something that looks decent. You got to put yourself in a nice, safe neighborhood because otherwise, when she come over, something gonna happen. All this stuff is like a relationship, and he made me realize, like, why waste trying to spend your money on anything, put it in any kind of stock, any kind of investment while you're playing in the NFL. If your biggest stock and your biggest return on any investment is you pouring into yourself. If I paid for the best trainers in the offseason, the best therapy in the offseason, and I studied my butt off every opportunity I got, then I'm going to know the offense better than anybody, just like the coaches do. Then my body's going to be in tip-top shape. I'm going to run my best. I'm going to cut my best. I'm going to hit my best. I'm going to feel more confident in myself, and I'm going to go out and put my best effort forward. And then not only am I going to double my contract the next year, I may triple it or quadruple it, just depending on how well I play. You know, so somebody sees that talent, and all of a sudden you take off. And that's what the best of the best and the best of the best in this league has done. They come back to camp every year in great shape. They work out all summer. They know the playbook better. They know, not only do they know their playbook, but they know what you're doing on the other side of the ball. That's how good they are. And they take the time to study week in and week out so they're prepared. They do their own game plans. The coach will put together a game plan and give to a player. I seen players do that, and I was like, what is he doing? Like, you know, like, and in my mind, it's like he brown noses or something like that, right? And at the end of the day, he's putting himself in a situation to be the best version of himself that he could possibly be. And I didn't even get that. As a player, I still didn't get that. Even talking to my owner and him telling me this, I still didn't truly get it until I started coaching football after I retired. And I was like, wow, like doing this game plan really puts me ahead of the curve. Like just doing my own game plan. I was special teams coordinator. I put together the special teams packet every week. And I was like, bro, like I was asleep. Like I really slept through 9 years of the NFL. Like it's no way that, it's no way that I shouldn't have been doing this. And he told me straight to my face, and I seen one of our guys do it. I seen a couple. I even helped mentor a couple of guys through it. And you can talk to Bart Scott. I was in Bart Scott's ear. Ovi Mahaley. I was in Ovi Mahaley's ear. You know, Tony Pashos. He went down to Jacksonville and broke the bank. You know, and I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me right now. Like you missed the boat on so many things because it starts at the top, Holly. Like it really does. Like it starts from the owner of the team and it rolls downhill from that point on. Your coach is going to be a reflection of everything because the owner had to be sitting there and he had to say, yeah, and he had to get a final approval of we're going to hire this guy to represent my organization and my team. So that coaching staff could be extremely weak sometimes because it's so much of a buddy system. You know, you hire me and I hire my nephew, my uncle, my cousin, my sister friend, and my brother homie. And next thing you know, we got a bunch of guys that are not qualified to coach these grown men. And you can ask Ty, a lot of times your coach, you don't know nothing but the X's and O's. He can't teach you nothing about technique or field work or
had a couple.
Yeah, or how to attack a tight end when he's you know he's heavy on this side or heavy on that or a receiver. You know, like it's hard. Everything is so split. You don't have no time to think. You just have to react. And I think that's Cleveland's biggest issue sometimes. It's too much buddy system going on, and they don't hire the right people put in the right situations at the right time, and it's a chain reaction effect. And to be on a Super Bowl caliber team, everybody got to be on the same page, and everybody got to feel loved. Everybody got to feel like they're a part of it. The backups got to prepare like they're starters at all times, so they're prepared when their time comes. And everybody understand iron sharpens iron. and that the scout team guys are going to do everything they can to prepare those guys that play on Sunday. You know, the scout team guys on both sides of the ball, they're going to do everything they can, and there ain't going to be no buddy stuff, you know, where I'm like, bro, just lay off this route. You know, I need a break. No, bro, I'm coming at you. They can come at you in the game. I'm coming at you right now in practice. You need to be ready. And you'll know the good teams because those guys are coming, man, Wilcox, thank you, man. I appreciate you got me ready for this week, bro. You the best tight end I've seen all year, you know. That's what Ty would say if I had to go one-on-one with him for 9 rounds. The best tight end I've ever seen, bro.
What is wrong?
It's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
You know what? I love the fact that you have that much confidence and belief in yourself.
Yeah,
I really respect it because I feel
the
same way. Like, to be honest with you, in your prime and in my prime, if we went up and did 10 reps, you wouldn't catch a ball. And I promise to God, on everything I love,
it sounds like every DBI burnt.
And you would be like, this dude really is like that, though. But we're not even going to talk about that.
If you in the NFL, bro, I guarantee you like that. If you in the NFL, you're like that. Ty, if you was there, bro, I promise you, when you was there, you was like that. You was the best of the best of the best of the best of the best. I'm telling you right now.
To tell everybody.
But however good you was, I was one good better than that. That's all I'm telling you.
All right, I'm glad that you.
That's all I'm telling
you. This actually leads me right perfectly into my next question for you.
Good.
So you've been talking all of this about how you just this great receiving tight end, receiving. So let's talk about the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the dirty work.
Let's do it.
How do the Ravens stop Myles Garrett?
How does the Ravens stop Myles Garrett? I'm gonna tell you exactly how you stop Myles Garrett. The way you stop any elite defensive end or outside backer, you have to put your best guy on him, and then you have to bring somebody over there to chip him, a tight end or running back, to chip as much as possible. And then you have to double team him as much opportunity you can. You have to put 2 people on him the entire game, and you run away from him the entire game. You don't even give him a chance to be great. You don't get. I'm telling you right now, the way you eliminate players in this league, if you slow him down coming off the edge by chipping him. Once you chip him hard a couple times and you knock him on his back, I guarantee you he gonna be looking around that corner when he come around that big offensive tackle. He gonna be like, hold on now, let me look before this guy come and chip me like he did last time. So you got to put your biggest backs back there and chip them hard, like that flipper. You know what that flipper is? You bring that elbow right up through the bottom of that chin.
Look, you
know what that thing is.
Step into it.
You got to bring it up right through the bottom of that chin and catch him just right when he leaning and he don't even see you coming. Yeah, and then you catch him right there, and now he remembers that the rest of the game. It slows that. It just takes him one step slower to get there, and then you set it up where Lamar takes off when y'all go in cover 1 and cover 0. As soon as y'all lock up, he out, he gone. As soon as everybody turn their back and start running down that field in man coverage, he got to take off. He got to take off going 100 miles per hour. Now Myles Garrett's gonna be up the field 4-5 yards up the field, and then we gone. And then you remember those screen plays where the tackle kind of sits back 1 or 2 steps, and then he slaps the guy in the back of his head and back his back as hard as he can and throws him up the field like 3 yards and then run. Yeah, you do those type of plays on them, and then you bring tight ends in motion like the zigzag, the yo-yo motion. They go across and they come back and then they cut them and they hit them on the edge of the line of scrimmage. And those type of things slow you down all game long. You got to do everything in your game plan to disrupt his timing and disrupt who he is as a player. And you got to give the man the respect that he deserves. He earned it. He earned that respect to get hit and chipped and punished and double teamed and screen passed on and everything you can run at him. He earned that respect. You got to give the man the respect he deserves. And you try to punish him the entire game. Dog, you got a 300-pound fullback. Let that dude go up there and chip him and hit him. Trust me when I tell you, man. He won't. You'll get tired of that. When you run through a person's face.
Are you talking about Patrick? You talking about
Patrick Ricard? You better believe it. We got a 300-pound fullback, bro, that played D-line. So he ain't scared to run up in your face and put his face in your face. That's all I'm saying. Like you let Patrick Ricard come around there in that corner on that. We call it a crack block, right? Where the tight end go in motion, and then on the ball snap, he goes behind the line of scrimmage and he cracks the D end, and you chip him, you push him out. You know, you do those type of blocks, bro. They hate it. They never see you coming because they're looking at the running back and they're looking in the backfield, and then all of a sudden you hit him right in the chin. You know, so you have to do those type of things, man, to slow him down and get him off his rocker. You got to make this day like the worst day he's ever had. You got to really be physical and relentless at getting at him in every opportunity. Every step he has to have somebody in his face. And those tackles got to be in a great shape. They got to run with them all game long.
All right, well, now we're coming down to it. I'll be honest. I thought, Daniel, you're going to give us the Browns a little bit more love throughout this podcast, and it ain't happening.
Bleav in the Ravens.
Yeah, well,
Bleav in the Ravens all day.
Well,
you'll never get that from me.
As he should.
Yeah, you call the wrong
Paid
guy.
him well.
Yeah.
Paid him well. He better.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Truth.
Like, you didn't call me to
Don't you see? You can't see that picture behind his head.
Yeah,
You know
again.
where he stands.
There's a bunch of them back there too. Look,
I'm trying. Yeah.
look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's that is? Oh, no, that's a Super Bowl champagne bottle. Oh, that's a Ravens helmet back there. What's going on in this room?
What's
going on?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and the Ravens sent me this. They
I got a
sent me
Michael
this too,
Scott
Holly.
poster and the whole deal.
You see that? You see that right there? They sent me this last year. It's a football field picture with the Raven logo with all the, like, from the 50 and the 40-yard lines with every single player that ever played for the Ravens on there. Cleveland ain't sending nobody in there like that. Why would I be giving them love in here?
Well, girl
Look
can
at Tyler.
dream.
So
Tyler,
just out of curiosity,
Tyler,
wait a minute, hold on. Just out of curiosity,
I want one of those.
what? I don't want that because I'm more of a college guy. I got like 4 rings that I don't even wear. Anyway, let's talk about what do you think that the score of this game gonna be? Out of curiosity, I gotta know where you going with this.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we will hear Daniel's predictions and give ours. So we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's Sam Amico from Cavs on the Break NBA podcast. Be sure to give us a listen for all your Cleveland Cavaliers recaps, analysis, breakdowns, draft talk, free agency. The list goes on and on. Give us a listen, Cavs on the Break NBA podcast.
It is that time. We got to find out who are the pretenders and who are the contenders. We are more than halfway through the NFL season, but DraftKings Sportsbook is pumping out unbeatable offers every single game. New customers can bet just $5, anything to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of a sweetener offer every game. Right now, the Browns is +6 on DraftKings, and the over-under is 38. I think I might take the under on this because I like the defense on both teams. Don't think it's going to be a lot of scoring there, so I would probably take the Browns on the +6 and take the under on the game. Get in on the football action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the app now and use code P3Browns. New customers can bet just $5 on anything to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code P3Browns. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boost Hill Casino and Resort, licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles, 21 and older, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bet expire 168 hours after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility and deposit restrictions. Terms and responsible gambling resources.
Looking for new insights on the Cleveland sports scene with a unique side of Cleveland sports history? Then you found the perfect podcast. I'm John Sable.
And I'm Scott Sable, and we're hosts of the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, a podcast about Cleveland sports, but not your typical podcast about the land's sports teams. Join us as we embark on a journey of sharing a unique and historical side of Cleveland sports history with the help of some former Cleveland sports stars and other historical figures.
All right here on the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
All right, we are back on the Orange is Oranger Cleveland Browns podcast. I'm Holly, that is Tyvis, and we are joined by Daniel Wilcox. So it is prediction time, guys. Daniel, please, let's start with you.
I'm gonna be 100 with you. I don't think this is gonna be a blowout at all. I mean, Cleveland I feel like everybody played their best game against Baltimore because you can't come in half-stepping. You got to be physical. You got to come in and play. So they're going to try to beat us up as best they possibly can. I think it's going to be a really tight game. I see the Ravens winning 28, maybe 24, 28, 21, somewhere around there. I don't think the Ravens is going to give up a bunch of points. So it can be 21-14, but I don't see it being no more than a 7-point win. It could possibly go left at some point. I don't know, but I definitely know the Ravens are going to win. I don't know whether or not Cleveland is going to – I know Cleveland going to come to play. I'm never going to disrespect them in that manner because they've always been tough to beat. They've always been a tough team to play against. I don't ever remember losing against Cleveland, even though we probably did. But, that's just – I think that's my CTE.
What? I think –
that's my CTE.
2007. Were you with the Ravens in 2007?
Yeah, I was there. I don't remember that game, but we probably won.
So I think 2007 is the last year that we ever swept the Ravens. You know that?
Holly, nobody remembers 2007 at all.
Look, we don't have a lot here, Daniel in Cleveland. So if I got to go back to 2007,
look at Ty
and live a little,
like how many times Cleveland.
Hey, I'm definitely trying to look it up. Oh God, I'm trying to look it up.
I'm pretty sure it's 2007. That was the last time we swept Baltimore.
I think you're right. I think I remember. No, I don't remember that. I got CT.
Yeah. I wouldn't remember that either if I were you. All right, so you think it's going to be a tight game? Yeah. I mean, look, I agree. I think it is going to be a low-scoring game. So I'm with you. I mean, I'm always the realistic one on this. By the way, Tyvis is Mr. Positive, and I'm Miss Realistic. So
okay, I like that. I like that.
Your husband,
I would love to go into Baltimore. I would love to take. I mean, I think this is the most important game of the season. And it would set the tone for.
They definitely swept them in 2007.
Okay, all right. See,
that was a 10-6 year for the Browns.
I'm gonna take what I can. That was the last time. Also, the Browns had a shutout against up until the Cardinals last week. So
the Ravens was 5-11. So
yeah, that was the year Steve got hurt, I think.
Yeah, so I'm with you. I think Baltimore is going to take this one, sadly, but I do think we take. I think we beat the Steelers the week after, so I think we even it out.
Whoa! What did you just say?
That was the year Steve McNair got hurt. He was hurt.
No, I ain't talking about you. And y'all had Troy Smith on there. Go Bucks. Sure. What did you just say, Holly?
Me? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I don't. Our history speaks for itself against Baltimore, but I do think we're gonna take it against. The Steelers the following week, and I think the Ravens are going to lose to the Bengals. So I think we're all going to even out.
All right, okay. Let me say this podcast because y'all listen. All the listeners out there, I am so sorry that these two in here. I don't know what's wrong with them. Listen, Ohio just passed the marijuana law, and right now there's a lot of that.
Did they ban
it?
Or they approved it?
So listen. Let me tell you how this game gonna go. It's gonna be one of those games.
No, it's
gonna
legal
start
now,
off very.
Thank God.
Yeah,
okay,
anyway, recreational.
Congratulations.
Anyways,
stop locking up black men in Ohio. Go ahead, Ty.
Let me talk.
Right, I'm sorry.
It's gonna start off slow. See, both teams is gonna come out there with the defense, and they're gonna come out there and be like, listen. Especially the Browns, they're gonna come out with a lot of edge because they got embarrassed 28-3 the last time. So they already got a chip on their shoulder about that, and it was at home. So the best way to pay that debt back is to go do it to them at their house. All right, but you're dealing with Lamar and you're dealing with Gus. Gus is a physical runner, so Gus is gonna come all game, and then you got to figure out how you're gonna try to stop Lamar, and that's the situation right there where they gotta figure out how they're going to slow Lamar Jackson down. How they're gonna do that is it's gonna be a very big, impressive game from the defensive tackles. They already did it last week. You had 4 defensive tackles coming there contributing to making plays. So this game, the defensive tackles is really going to hold it down. It's going to really keep them linebackers' jersey clean so they can free flow to the ball. So that's what's going to happen in the beginning of the game, all right? The Browns' offense is going to start off very slow because, like I say, Baltimore's defense is legit right now. I mean, I think they're in first place with sacks. I think they got like 31 sacks on the season.
Yeah, we lead the whole league. And pretty much every category except the 1 or 2 that you guys
the Browns still trying to figure things out offensively. Obviously, Deshaun just came back last game, but he going to come out there with something to prove. They're going to have a game plan for Amari Cooper. So what's going to happen is halftime is going to be what's the most important factor of this game. Which coach is going to be able to go into halftime and draw up a play that's going to work for the second half of the game. And Kevin Stefanski, he's going to be tested. Kevin Stefanski this whole season, he's been up and down on it. There's been games where he's looked really good. There's been games where he's looked really bad. So this is going to be the ultimate test. If now you got the quarterback that you want, he seems to be healthy. He made a lot of good throws last week. Can you come out there and draw something up? You're supposed to be this offensive genius. Can you draw something up that's going to hurt the Baltimore Ravens in the second half? That's going to be the question. If he can do that, then the Browns will win this game. It's going to be one of those 17-14 type games, though. I don't see it. The over-under, shout out to DraftKings, the over-under is 38 points. I'm taking the under on this because both defenses is out there trying to play like they got something to prove. I think the Browns is first, and I think the Ravens is second. So, therefore, something got to give on this game.
Browns is first at what?
So, I think they total defense. I think the Browns is first.
Okay. I ain't know that. In my knowledge,
they first in pass defense, total defense, and I think they fourth or seventh in rushing or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. Something like that.
Yeah.
So it's all about halftime.
Baltimore's number one in points allowed. Baltimore's number one in points allowed, touchdowns allowed, and red zone, and sacks. Cleveland is first in total defense and passing and third down efficiency, and then Ravens are right behind them with those two.
Got you.
So that's how it's going to go.
I like that.
Really, the biggest test is Kevin Stefanski halftime adjustments. There we go. Bang.
So you're going to put it in the coach's hand? That's what you think?
It is.
So at first I thought when you was talking about halftime, you was talking about some kind of speech or something. They was going to have to get them because they was behind.
Listen, this one of them games that
the game or something.
No, this one of them games that there's not a lot that need to be said. If you ain't motivated,
exactly.
then you in the wrong profession.
Absolutely.
You're in the wrong profession.
I like the way you broke that down. I feel like I need to go back and give you more of an educated analysis of what I think, because I just don't want you to think that Cleveland is just going to come in here and just outwit us or something. You know what I mean? So
I didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
That's not what I said.
I mean, we're going to put together extremely great game plan on both sides of the ball.
You did the last time, 28-3.
I'm talking right now, and I'm using my professional.
Do your thing.
No,
you know what? Voice. Do your thing. Hold on. Let me mute myself.
Yeah, we're going to put down a great game plan on all three phases of the game. Offense, defense, and special teams. We're very good at special teams right now. We're really hot. Devin Duvernay is going to be hot. He's definitely going to get a return that's going to put us in great field position, more likely than often, right? More often than not, right? And then, so in saying that, we're going to win the field position battle on special teams, right? Then we have Justin Tucker, who's always the X factor. He's going to kick field goals repeatedly. What I don't like about the Ravens right now at this moment, we're leaving too many points on the field, so we're having to kick more field goals sometimes than touchdowns. OBJ just got his first touchdown, so on offense, we're going to continue that wave and try to get him a second touchdown against you guys, maybe his third, maybe even his fourth. All right, that's how I feel about that. Then Zay Flowers has been playing phenomenal as a rookie all year long. This is my professional voice right now I'm using. He's been playing phenomenal as a rookie all year long, okay? And I expect nothing less of him than that. And you will see a lot of our big fullback, Patrick Ricard. He will be hitting the edges hard. Our offensive line, Stanley, is finally playing back to the first round caliber that he's been playing up before the injuries and stuff like that, before he got his big payday. And I love seeing that. Morgan Moses has been phenomenal as well. And we got the best center in the league. He's a young guy, Kyle Linderbaum, that Iowa guy. He's a dog in the middle of the offense. Got a game ball last week. I think Monken will continue to do phenomenal. He's been doing phenomenal as far as getting these guys ready to play. I think they're going to come out charged up. Lamar has been phenomenal, always have been phenomenal, been in MVP talks every single year. Even this year, he's getting back into that MVP conversation. And I think you'll see a lot of that MVP form this week, since last week wasn't a stellar performance by him. He will show up in big effect. Our defense have something to prove. Just like you said, those guys have 2 or 3 things in those number one categories. We're coming for those too. This week, we're coming for those. Mike McDaniels, a young defensive coordinator. He was our linebacker coach for many years. When I was there doing an internship with Baltimore, he was a linebackers coach. Then he left to go to Michigan for a year, came back last year, and they started off slow. So now they're starting to finally get it. You said what? He's what? He's a cheater. Don't say that. Sign stealer.
He's a cheater.
That's in the
Go
past.
Bucks. Go Bucks.
That's in the past. That's in the past, all right? Now we're talking about his professionalism on the NFL level, okay? Now, while he's professional in Baltimore, he doesn't steal signs anymore. Those in his past, those are, we don't bring up old stuff anymore. You're worse than an old girlfriend, always complaining about stuff I used to do, okay? So at this moment, Mike Davis, he's going to do a phenomenal job, all right? We're coming here to wreak havoc in every single way possible for the Cleveland Browns offense. And Deshaun Watson, I love him. He's an Atlanta guy. I watched him. I recruited him in college and stuff like that. And I think he's a phenomenal QB, and he still hasn't got back to his form yet. This will be one more game that he won't be back to his rare form. I think maybe next week will be a better week for him, but not this week. All right. Ravens win. All right. Since you're talking smack, I'm going to say 40 to 18. I'm giving you 18 because we don't give up many points.
It's escalated.
All right. Now I'm going to send this whole interview back to the Ravens locker room so they can see this before the game too, okay? I hope it pisses them off even more.
Yeah, send it back. The old Browns. Take it back. The old Browns.
If you got to piss them off, then they in the wrong profession.
We play pissed off, okay?
That's all
we play pissed off.
No, you got to send them extra.
I said piss them off even more. You heard what I said.
We'll see. I guess
you
we'll
heard
see.
What I said.
Well, this has been absolutely one for the books. Daniel, you will be back because there is no way at this point that we can't.
Let's round it up after the game, Holly. Let's do it after the game. Yeah.
Oh,
win or lose, I'm in. After the game, let's do it again,
I'm
Holly.
down for this.
I hear you, big cat.
I say that, and I'm scared to death because if we get our asses kicked, that is going to be the worst show.
They're not.
I don't think they are either. I thought it was going to be a tight game until Tyvis started doing all this stuff he was talking about with these. This halftime stuff. We gonna come in
point out what's gonna happen.
Man,
that's all.
If the man ain't been good at halftime all year, how you gonna try to make him good this game?
I didn't say that. I didn't say
the man struggled all year at halftime.
That's not what I said.
With his halftime adjustments has been weak.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, you did. Everybody heard you.
You lying. What I said
heard you, bro.
I said I think that this game is gonna come down to halftime adjustments. People have criticized.
We don't even need halftime adjustments.
On adjustments.
We don't need
but I thought
adjustments.
he's had games this season where he's made the correct adjustment in game and it helped him win games. Yeah. So I think he's been a better coach. To be honest with you, a lot of people mad at me for saying this. He should be in the running for coach of the year for some of the stuff that he's been dealing with this season and still putting his team in position to win. I mean, a lot of guys, you lose your starting, both offensive tackles, your starting running back and your starting quarterback. Yeah. Like you shouldn't be 5-3 at all. You should be really, your season should be in the tube. So for the fact that he's still having them afloat like this, I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job. Yeah. So to me, I don't see why he wouldn't be. But that's another story. Like I said, he win this game. Listen,
it sound like a regular year for the Ravens. You gonna look at me?
You gonna watch that game?
It sounds like a regular year for the Ravens. Like you act like it's a big deal that he got guys hurt.
The second half of that game, you're gonna be sitting there like you gonna be like, dang, Tyvis know what he talking about.
No, I'm not. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. You can get it. I can get it. Holly can get it. Hell, everybody can get it. It's the NFL. It don't matter.
NFL, not for long.
That's right. All. Tell him again.
Except for him. 9 years.
We'll see. Yeah,
9 years, a lifetime.
Hey, undrafted free agent now. I had to get it out the mud. You already know. Hey. You know how it is.
Yeah. I do actually.
I had to get it out. And I went to Appalachian State. They ain't have no respect for App State when I came out there. Everybody got a little bit of respect now.
You wasn't there when they beat the team up north on the block?
I was with Baltimore already. I was with the Ravens already.
Dang.
I was on that team that beat Wake Forest and almost beat Auburn and Clemson. Just that close. One play away. It is what it is,
I will
man.
say,
we getting it.
It's the confidence for sure. I think we can really definitely all agree on that because if you have that confidence.
I can't wait this Sunday.
Huh?
I can't wait this Sunday. I'm going to be sitting there just grinning.
I'm trying right now.
Grinning. Oh, he's sitting there grinning.
Oh, I'm going to try.
I hope we kill y'all this week, man. I really do. I hope we tear y'all up. I need that. I need it this week more than any other week just because you think you could cover me.
Well, we can motivate you. Same, though. Because, look, right. We've needed this for I can't even count.
Yeah,
that's the thing. This game mean more to Cleveland than Baltimore.
I doubt that.
I'm telling you.
Lamar on a mission. I don't know if you noticed this year or not. If you paid any attention, this guy's on a mission this year. Like he's so focused, bro. He ain't even smiling in his press conference no more. He coming to that thing like it's just another win. On to the next one. We're looking for Cleveland this week. He got his Shaq talk on. You know, we looking for Cleveland this week. Just another win. Thank you. We won't be happy till we get a championship. That's Lamar. That's Lamar. He's on this killer wheels this year.
You're coming back when the Browns win. So
let's do it. Hook it up, Holly.
Well, thank you, Danny Wilcox, for coming on today for the Orange is Oranger Super Bowl champ, Bleav Network, Bleav in Ravens host.
Hold on, Holly.
We're going to have him
you
back.
You messed up the Bleav in the Ravens, Holly. Start that over.
It's Bleav in the Ravens?
Yeah, start that over, Holly. I wanted to be clean when you say this last thing because you didn't sound like you believed in the Ravens when you said it.
I sure don't.
Start it over, Holly. Start it over. Hold on.
No do-over.
And cut and action. Go, Holly.
I had to actually say that out loud, and that's about as good as it's going to get at this point. For myself and Tyvis Powell, Taj, our producer, thanks for listening to the Orange is Oranger, and we'll be back next week. Tyvis, want to take us out, please?
Go Browns, baby! Ravens ain't got a chance.
I'm going to let you have that last statement.